Hello and welcome to the stream this evening. If we haven't met before, my name is James Font and I believe the world of Australian wine is beautiful and complex, so I create videos for wine lovers to learn more about the world of wine. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. I'm in a different spot today. I'm on holidays. I've got my stream set up going and I've currently got 3 different data connections tethered together to try and get this live stream to work. However, my packet loss is well and truly over 50%, so we'll see how we go with it this evening. The topic for this evening is, or in this video, we're going to be looking at cool red wines for cool days. So looking at red wines you can drink all summer long in Australia, thinking about the Australian heat and how hot it gets can sometimes make high alcohol red wines unpleasant to drink. So we'll be looking at that. Would love to see what questions you have in the chat as well. So feel free to throw some of those up and let me know as part of that. And I can also then type on the keyboard and see how that's going. If you're joining me this evening, I've got a glass of McWigan's Zero Rosé with me that I'm sipping on to enjoy, celebrating World Pizza Day as well here on the 9th of February 2022 as part of that fun and part of that experience. So, let's jump into it. Let's think about some of those red wines to drink all summer long. So, thinking about this article, looking at Vino Mofo's article about red wines to drink all summer long, let's jump into it. It's finally here, summer. That glorious time of year when an afternoon in the park rolls into spontaneous alfresco dinners and onto the late night backyard hangs. But just because the temperature is rising and the layers are coming off and staying off, there's no need to leave the red wine on the rack. Just like you, we love good red wine and we love it all year round. In summer, just switch up the varietals and you'll be sipping pretty no matter how steamy it gets. When picking a summer red wine, it's best to steer clear of big tannins and full-bodied flavours. Lighter, fruitier wines with higher acidity are the ticket, as are any. So, what you want to do is keep your eye out for wines like Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is the OG of warm weather wine. Despite being a cool climate grape, Pinot Noir's bright, vibrant profile lends itself nicely to drinking when the weather is a bit sultry. Go for delicate Australian Pinot Noirs from cooler regions such as the Mornington Peninsula or Tasmania. Or if you're feeling fancy, French Pinot Noirs, aka, also known as, pretty much any red wine from Burgundy. Light and limber Pinot Noir is made for lazy days outside. Another wine to consider to enjoy all summer long is Gamay. With its light floral notes and lashings of red fruit, Gamay is summer in a glass. The Viggelt region of France is the boss of Gamay, having claimed the varietal as its speciality after the Duke of Burgundy banned the grape from his turf in the 1300s. Lucky for us, because compared to wines from its attention-grabbing northern neighbour Burgundy, Viggelt Gamay is far easier on the wallet, making it even more perfect for summer afternoon drinking. Gamay is best served lightly chilled. So let me know. I'll have a quick look at some of the questions, see what is coming in. And yes, surely pair pizza with wine is part of what I've been doing this evening. Picked up a 1716 margarita from a local pizza parlour down where I am on the south coast of Australia. I'll hopefully be able to make some content about the Shoalhaven wine region as part of that as well. So that'll be another part of the exciting thing. But thank you very much for all understanding the commitment to streaming and making the content happen, and making the live stream commitment weekly on Wednesdays a big thing, to show that I'm here for a regular week in, week out on Wednesdays for the duration of the year, to see if I can continue a live streaming schedule talking about wine. So feel free to throw any questions in chat. For tonight, I've paired a rosé with a margarita pizza. And let's jump back in to the content about the wine. So Grenache is also a wine. So Grenache, it's been described as a warm climate Pinot Noir. So it's no surprise this underrated Spanish wine is also made for summer sipping. In the past, the varietal might have slunk by in the shadows as a blending grape, but single varietal Grenache is starting to claim its place in the sun. A little bit peppery, a little bit fruity, and a whole lot of fun to drink. Grenache will make you very popular at your next backyard dinner party. Grenache is probably one of the easier wines to find on this list alongside Pinot Noir in Australia. Gamay is a bit of a red herring in Australia. I'm not sure how often that grape is grown. I'm not sure of any Gamay producers in Australia off the top of my head. And the next wine is Viggelt. This might be Austria's answer to Pinot Noir, but that doesn't mean it's a knockoff. Viggelt, we can't pronounce it either, has quietly become the most widely planted red Austrian wine since being invented there in the 1920s. Tart, fresh and light, it's like a crop of summer cherries in a bottle. It also goes well with grilled foods. So there's your next barbecue sorted. Zweigelt is an Austrian grape varietal, incredibly rare within Australia. I'm only aware of one producer within Australia down in the Adelaide Hills at Harndorf Hill, specialising in Austrian varietals including Blau Fränkisch and Grüne Veltliner, and they've also got some Saint Laurent on the vine that will be bottled, I think, in 2023 or 2024 for the first time, which I'm looking forward to. So Viggelt is something you're probably not going to find in Australia, but I am aware of that one producer at Harndorf Hill. Another wine for summer is Barbera. Take it from the Italians, Vino Rosso is fit for drinking all through summer, and Italy's third most common grape. Barbera is more than equal to the challenge. Hailing from the Piedmont region, Barbera delivers a refreshing, higher natural acidity and juicy blackberry flavors, and is often best drunk young, meaning it's there for a good time, not a long time. This is a wine you wouldn't want to cellar. And in true Italian fashion, it's ideal for pairing with a summer night's feast. As part of that, you'll start to see Barbera popping up more and more as an Italian variety here in Australia, so keep your eye out for that one. Sparkling Shiraz is an Australian classic. Okay, so Australia's favourite red wine might not be the best call when the mercury is high, but add some bubbles to Shiraz and suddenly it's a different story. Forget the cheap, sweet plonks you might have had in the past. Sparkling reds are having a bit of a moment, and the Australian sparkling Shiraz at the forefront. The bubbles soften out the intensity of the Shiraz without losing that delicious spice. As a bonus, sparkling Shiraz plays well with roast ham and heartier foods, making a must-have for the table at Christmas. I always love trying to find a sparkling wine to break out around Christmas, and sparkling Shiraz is one that I lean towards just because it's got some zest to it with the bubbles that also pairs beautifully with the cold meats and is quite refreshing. So to chill or not to chill, we have so much to chill in regards to wine. The common wisdom is that red wines are designed to be drunk at room temperature, but there's a catch. It's a safe bet that your average room in Australia is hotter than one in Europe. Back in the old days when the rules were made, so there's a decent chance you're serving your red wines too warm all this time. And there's nothing worse than warm wine when it's boiling outside. The optimal temperature for red wine actually sits between 16 and 18 degrees. So if you're not in possession of a wine fridge, because we don't all have one of those hanging about, pop any of the above wines in the fridge for 20 to 30 minutes or so before pouring and you'll be set. And while purists might clutch their pearls, if you forgot to chill, it's okay. Sneak an ice cube or two in your glass. After all, it's summer, everyone. Anything goes. And they have an extensive list of wines on Vino Mofo as well. And they import a lot, so you might actually be able to find a Barbera or a Zweitlig from Austria or Italy or a Grenache from Spain as part of the collection, or a Gamay from France, because of just the variety of wine that they have coming from them. And the holiday is going well, enjoying the sun, the surf, and the sand, getting out and about, seeing a little bit of Australia and seeing how the world is down south of Sydney, which is a lot of fun. Enjoying relaxing by the pool, going for swims, walking about, doing exercise. Enjoyed a garden and took some great pictures of roses. Got out the DSLR camera. I've got one DSLR here that I was taking photos on. The other one is here. So took a few nice close-up photos of different flowers at a garden today, which was lovely. So enjoying some nature and some fresh air and some sunshine. And it was a 30-degree day today. So it was a perfect reason to consider and think about what cool wine. No, hold on, I got it the wrong way around. It was a perfect day at 30 degrees Celsius to think about the red wines you can drink all summer long with having such a hot temperature outside. Very quickly got back to the hotel, set the air conditioning onto 18 degrees Celsius to make it a lot more pleasant, as well as took a dip in the pool as the sun started to set to cool off, which was absolutely awesome to be able to enjoy. And like, in terms of where we are, thankfully the hotel was big enough that I could set up the desk and the angle to get this, but my wife's just here, like across this side, out of frame, being very quiet and very patient with me on this live stream. So we'll probably go for a lot shorter here this evening as part of that, as we've got a holiday to get back to and enjoy. So feel free to drop any questions in the chat that I can answer or follow up for you. And yes, well, yeah, tonight I paired rosé with pizza. Is one of those questions. The other thing that I'd go look at doing is potentially going for like Pinot Noir with pizza. There's also a part of me that wants to gravitate to Italian varieties, Sangiovese, Montepulciano, Nebbiolo, to go with pizza. As the saying goes, what grows together goes together. So picking a great variety that is well known throughout Italy to go with pizza is something that's also on my mind as I think about what wines could pair with pizza as part of that. And there's a huge variety out there. If you wander around, look up some reviews and see what is out there as part of looking for what's available as part of the world of wine. So covers red wines that I drink and you could drink all summer long. One of my aims this year is to stream every night, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Sydney time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, or at the moment Australian Eastern Daylight Time, because of daylight savings in Sydney, Australia. Streaming 9 p.m. every Wednesday night to create videos about wine for you, for wine lovers. So, and like the wine, the stream is here for a good time, not a long time tonight. Quick half an hour episode for this evening. You're right there, me man, as we go into this. And as we go through thinking about, wines for summer, putting them in the fridge for 20 to 30 minutes before you need to serve them to get them in between that 16 to 18 degrees Celsius is a key tip to keep in mind when you're getting ready to serve a red wine this summer. So file that one away for whenever you need it next as you think about red wines for summer. And just to recap what some of those wines were, as you think about red wines you can drink all summer long, you could be looking at Pinot Noir, Gamay, Grenache, Viggelt, and Barbera as part of that. 5 wines. Viggelt will be extremely hard to find in Australia, and you will be up for a challenge finding Gamay as well as Barbera within Australia, as they're more alternative varieties that are not as well grown in Australia compared to things like Pinot Noir that you can find in cooler regions like Tasmania and the Mornington Peninsula. So there's a great varieties of red wine out there that you can chill, put in the fridge and enjoy all summer long. And a great tip for that is the lower the alcohol percentage of the red wine, the better the chances are it being lighter and the better chance of it being enjoyable, as you stay away from high alcohol wines as well as wines that are heavy on tannins, as you think about a wine that will be enjoyable whilst chilled in summer. And when you chill a wine with high tannins, it gets a bit prickly, as well as the alcohol heats up more quickly, or not necessarily more quickly, but you notice the alcohol as the wine heats up more for a higher alcohol percentage as well. So thank you all for tuning in here this evening. I'm trying to stream 9 p.m. each Wednesday night here in Sydney. If you want to ask any questions, make sure you throw them on the chat and I'll try and answer them on the stream. Otherwise, what red wines do you enjoy in summer in Australia? Comment below and let me know, and I might be able to review one of those in a future video. And if you're new here and you're enjoying the content that I'm creating, please consider subscribing to be informed and join a community of wine lovers learning about the world of wine. And thank you for the feedback. Connection is quite weak. I actually did a test run of this yesterday night to see if it would work. I found a new app called Speedify, which was awesome. The idea is it takes channel bonding from multiple connections to be able to put together a reliable live stream. I had hit a test run around 4,000 kilobits, which was working superbly at 720p. Currently, it's like struggling to push out what I need it to, around like it would maybe 480p. So you learn from experience, and having a go is one of the best ways to see if you can do something and get something up and running. And that's what I learned here tonight. So Thank you for watching this stream, and enjoy.